Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
I'm Jerry.
I'm Linda, and this is Gizmo.
We're the village's newcomers. We had an exciting week, but not in a good way. First of all, I had surgery on a squamous cell cancer here on my face, and it's all good, but that was a little concern. And then Linda fell down.
Yeah.
And she hurt herself. Tell them about it.
I had a boom boom. I was working at my desk, and I got up to get something, and I got my leg caught in the computer cord that was plugged into my computer, and I went down.
That's not the way I remember it. She's okay now. She's doing great. She can put weight on it.
Yes.
Wow. We put it on our Facebook page. It blew up.
Yeah.
You had so many well wishes.
Thank you all. And you all have been great to us all week, both Jerry and myself. We are very grateful to you all, and grateful to our medical facilities here.
Yeah. It was really a good experience, and quick in and quick out. So kudos to them.
Yeah.
On today's episode, we're going to answer the question, if you own your home in the villages, do you also own the land that it sits on?
And do you have any odd names in your family?
And what are those strange contraptions that are hanging outside some of the homes, especially south of 44? We're going to talk about those strange looking contraptions.
And do you know what these tools are? We'll find out today.
Hit it, Wally.
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
We hope you enjoyed last week's show. We had those bus interviews when we were en route to our cruise. This week on Thursday, we'll have part 2. I think you're really going to like this one. How about some shout outs?
Jack, Janet, and their service dog Buddy just closed on their new home. Congratulations and welcome.
Rick and Kathy Marshall live in the village of Piedmont. Now, Rick came up and talked to us in the movies. We were at the movies. We went to see Elvis.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Great movie.
That's really good. Hey, if that kid that played Elvis does not win the Best Actor award when it comes time for the Oscars, something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
That kid is fabulous. But here they are. Look at them in their Christmas outfits. Just a great looking family.
This is Mickey and Jan Day. And this picture was taken in Spain, but they're heading for the villages in September.
Here's Judy, and she's with Linda. They're at water aerobics. Judy lives in the village of Hadley, but she also has a home in London, England.
Wow.
Pip and all that rot.
And this is a picture of Cindy and John Foster on our cruise. They are residents of St. James, and they are a fun couple.
Yeah, we bumped into John at Lowe's the other day.
Yeah.
We were in doing a little home improvement. Roy and Karen sent in this picture of their handsome boy Colt. And they say he's really been digging on Gizmo.
Gizmo has a lot of friends, I think. This is Tracy and Ken, and they're closing on their new home, and their veranda home in DeLuna.
Nice. I like those veranda homes.
Pretty.
You got a fence for your puppy.
Yeah, Gizmo would love that, I think.
Here's Tina and Scott Weaver. They're from St. Charles, Missouri, and they just celebrated their 25th anniversary. They also just completed a lifestyle visit, and they're coming back for a second one in September. You know, that's another question we get. Can you take more than one? We know lots of people that have taken more than one. Sometimes on your second or third lifestyle, you don't get all the other frills like movie tickets and range balls and free golf, but you can come back because they want to sell you a house or a lot.
This is Lila and Ed, and they spend half of their time here in LaBelle Village and in Kansas City.
Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City, Kansas?
I don't know.
We don't know. We don't know.
I did not know there were two of them.
This awesome couple is Rob and Kristen McKevitt, and they went on our cruise. Rob has a kilt.
He does.
He does, yeah.
Ah.
And they're a nice couple.
Yes.
And they got to swim with pigs. Swimming with pigs, who even knew that was a thing? And there's a picture of them with pig, and that was down in the Bahamas. They live in the village of Pine Ridge.
That's close.
It is close.
Kathy and Scott just finished their 3rd lifestyle visit, and boom, they bought their home in Luna. They're 15 months out from retirement, but I hope that goes fast for you.
This fine-looking couple is Tomeo and Amber. I hope I said that right. Or is it Tomeo, like Romeo? But there's 2 E's. I don't know. Tomeo and Amber. They recently bought a home up on the hill in Mallory Square. Oh, I like that area.
I do.
It's high, and
beautiful.
I like Mallory Hill. They got good food there. They're hoping for a May move-in date. See you when you get here.
This is Tim and Lorna, and they're going to buy a home in Luna also.
DeLuna's really, again, it's just taken off. We say that
growing.
every week. There must be a lot of homes down there. This is Dawn and Brad. They're from Minnesota, and they were here in the Villages checking out their future retirement home. Ed says you can see the reflection of that double rainbow on his head. I really respect people that can rock that bald head, because you have to have the right shaped head. I mean, I look like that guy in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I would not look good bald. Thank goodness that I've got a good supply of toupees.
Yeah, let's hope it lasts. This is Raylan and Tim, and they recently celebrated their anniversary, as well as the first anniversary of living here in the Villages of Hawkins.
Happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Viewers of the week. Valerie and Terry Norman.
Woo-hoo.
This nice couple went with us on the cruise, and they are so enthusiastic and so helpful. They're just great people, and we want to congratulate them on being our viewers of the week. Speaking of viewers, let's talk about Facebook for just a minute. There are lots of people that could subscribe or follow us, and how do you do that? I want you to look on the screen there. We get a list every day of people that we have invited to follow and people that have accepted. So please, when you see that follow button, click that, and it will add you to our list. You'll see our new shows, you'll see our new commercials, you'll see Linda's shopping sprees, and she'll even dance for you once in a while after her ankle heals.
And also the live videos too.
Yeah, we can do some live videos and some little quick ones and family photos that we can't post here. So please, when you see that follow on Facebook, click that. I said we'd talk about odd names in our families. Do you have any odd names in your families? I do. Believe it or not, my grandmother and my great-grandmother were both named Clyde. Clyde!
Well, my grandmother's middle name was Katinka.
Katinka, that's pretty cool though. Do you have any weird names? Send them in and maybe we'll talk about those.
Well, how about your middle name? Is that kind of odd? Should we not say that, huh? Can you guess Jerry's middle name?
You can't. You cannot, and I'm not telling you either. Let's get to our questions. We have a letter from Henry, and Henry says, it sure seems like there are a lot of Lindas around these days, but they're all old.
Well, I take offense to that.
And Henry says, I ain't that young myself. Henry, it sounds like you're one of these guys that's looking for a younger lady. And, you know, nothing wrong with that.
I guess he's not going to look for Linda's.
Well, we said a few shows back that in 1947, Linda was the #1 name for girls born in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
And there are lots of them in that 65 down to 55 range. You're going to find a lot of Lindas.
You know, when we first got here, I noticed so many Lindas everywhere I went. All the stores, the salespeople and whatever named Linda, all the tags. I'm going, wow. So I went home and opened up the phone book and started taking an inventory and counting and putting a yellow line through all the Lindas. It was incredible. Some of them were on each page, 6 on each page, and sometimes there were 9 on a page. I'm going, are you kidding? I got up to A through G, and then I finally gave up and I decided it's too many to count. This is from Carla in Texas. Linda, I know you said you didn't plan on playing golf when you moved to the Villages. How did you learn? Did you take lessons? What do you recommend is the best way for a first-timer to learn? Is it hard? Is it a hard game to learn? Well, I said I wasn't going to play golf. Our boys play golf with Jerry, and I just didn't think it was a game for me. But as I got down here and saw all the golfers, and Jerry kind of edged me into it and gave me a golf bag and balls and a little putting mat in the house. And then we decided to go with lessons, and that's the best way to go. Took some lessons at the academy school, is that what it's called? And it was great. I had actually 2 different lessons, one from a lady and then one from a man, and it was wonderful.
That goes with the next question, is from Karen and Michael.
Okay.
They said, would the 2 of you be able to assist us in finding out how to learn to play golf without having to pay $315 a head?
Oh.
I feel your pain.
Yeah.
First of all, she's right. You need to learn from a professional.
Yeah.
But professionals are expensive. So summertime, like right now in the heat of summer, they often will offer you discounted lessons where you can buy a package of 4. I think I did it last year. It was $130 or $120. So you're getting them for about 30 or 35 bucks a lesson. That's about as cheap as you can do. If you want to go outside the bubble, there's a country club in particular in Leesburg, I think it's Plantation Country Club, that offers a month's worth of lessons for $100.
Oh, wow.
And you can come and go as you please to those lessons. So
Wow.
we had some buddies that did that, and they liked that way to do it. But get yourself a lesson. She went she's been to quite a few actually now. One of them, she went for a week. I think it was about $300.
And that was kind of a group lesson too.
It was a small group though.
Yeah, there were 3 of us.
3 of you and a pro. The problem with that is that pro already has a lesson plan, and they're going to stick to that lesson plan.
Yeah.
And you might go in there saying, boy, I can putt good and I can chip good, but I want to learn to hit my driver. That's what she wanted.
Yeah.
But that pro said, no, we're not going to do the driver in this. But I'm paying you the $300, but
That was
sorry.
for the next level, right? And had
Yeah,
to pay
they
more
want you
for
to
that.
sign up for the next batch so you can learn to hit your other clubs.
But I loved the lessons because I received a folder and I had definitions of different things and how to do things. I really liked that group lesson.
Well, one of the big things is you learn the etiquette, and you learn what's right and what's wrong and what's acceptable and not acceptable, and most of all, you learn to play fast. Or you can play bad. Nobody cares if you play bad. Just don't play too slow.
Yeah.
That holds up the whole course behind you.
Yeah.
One more golf question today. I know you've talked a great deal about golf tee times, and that if you don't go to one, it can prevent you from getting preferred tee times in the future. My question is, if you have a specific tee time during a rainstorm or bad weather, do you get penalized if you don't go? Good question. That's Chris and Sandy. The short answer is no, you do not get penalized if you don't go. Sometimes if you have a storm and it goes on for more than just a few minutes, they will post a notice on Golf the Villages. It's a website. And there will be a scrolling bar that says no points assigned for today due to weather. So you won't get any penalty points. What is a penalty point? In a short description, it is simply a way to keep track so that the same people don't get to play every day, that it's spread out over everybody.
Yeah.
If every time I play, I get 1 point, then next week when you sign up to play again, they look and see how many points somebody have. If they have 7, people with 3 points are going to get preference over you. So the more you play, the farther down you fall. But in the summer, everybody can play. There are plenty of tee times.
Yes.
Snowbird season, that's when your entire reservation may get kicked out. It's happened for me, it's happened for her, because somebody in your group had too many points. It knocks your whole group out sometimes. You won't get to play that week, or that day anyway. In golf that come in real handy. In fact, they're pretty much required. This is the first one. It's not what you think. This is a sand bottle. On the golf course, golfers, if you're swinging the way you should be swinging, you're making a divot. And that divot tears up the sod, the grass. This is full of sand, and it's going to fill in that hole that you just created. You'll put that in there, and sometimes they mix grass seed in here. and it grows back good as new. So that's considered good etiquette on the golf course. Have a sand bottle, pour it in the holes that you create. Let's take a look at one. And that's how you do it.
Here's another tool that's very important. It's not a switchblade. It's a tool to repair your ball marks. If you become a skilled golfer, you'll hit high shots that land on the green. And very often, the ball will make an indentation. Now that makes putting almost impossible if it happens to roll over that hole. So this tool is used to fix ball marks. When you approach a green, you can often find ball marks that have not been repaired. Of course, those will affect the roll of your putts. This green is not in great shape because it has recently been aerated. See those tiny holes everywhere? That's a common practice. Right there's a ball mark. Now, I'm not sure if that's been repaired or not, but it's certainly not in good shape, so we're going to pry it up a little bit, all the way around. Not too vigorously, but what we're trying to do is make that green the same level that it was before that ball hit. Now ordinarily I would have my putter and I would gently tap that down to be smooth, but I don't have my putter with me, so I'll just do it with my hand today. Here's a ball mark someone forgot to repair. We'll insert the tool, pry up around the edges best we can, try to get that level consistent with the rest of the green. And again, if I had my putter, I would gently tamp that down, but I don't, and that'll have to work for now. Another thing you'll need to do, regardless of whether you play championship golf or executive, is to repair the sand trap. And when you go in to play your shot, you're going to leave footprints behind. Proper etiquette says you will take one of those rakes. There will usually be 1, 2, or 3, and clean it up as you leave, leaving it perfect for the next person that plays that trap.
This is from Dave in Oregon. Do you ever regret buying a house and not owning the land it sits on? That is the main reason I would never live in the villages.
And Dave says he would never live here because he can't own the land that his house sits on. That is true in some developments, but not here. In the villages, you own your lot, you own your house.
Right.
There are other ones close by, and in fact, some really popular ones that have historically had you buy the house, they keep the land, they own the land. It's not true here in the villages.
This is from Jamie. Hello, Jerry and Linda. I was wondering if you have ever checked on why the adult pools could not be opened later into the night, especially in the summer. Also, it would be nice if some of the pools had shade.
I think part of the reason, I think there are a couple reasons, and I think one is supervision.
Yes.
Because people have to be on duty, and each day, if you're at that pool around closing time, which is supposed to be around dusk, somebody will come and lock it all up. And it has a wall around, all the pools have a wall around them. You can't get in or out. But you're saying, why don't they leave it open longer? Well, you could get carried away by the mosquitoes if they kept it open longer,
Right.
you know. And there's no light. There are no lights around that pool that would illuminate the place, and it would become more dangerous. So at dark, the pool's closed down, just like everything here in the villages, just about.
That doesn't make any sense.
Boom!
City, I gotta do that all over again.
We're having a pause. We're having a little pause.
Pass the bar.
That was a huff one.
Is it gonna pass the bar?
Oh my God. Listen, and while they're here, they drank some Kool-Aid, they got dizzy. Carol and Jerry from Kansas, USA, they put there. They say, we love the show. Our question is, even with heated outdoor pools, it seems the early morning water aerobics would be chilly. Does Linda participate in water aerobics during those months, the colder months? If so, does she wear a wetsuit?
Well, I have been when it was cold in the wintertime, and it is quite chilly. You have to ease into that water, let me tell you. But as soon as you get your toe in, you need to go right down to your neck right away, and then you get used to it. But if it's in the below 60s outside, I usually do not go. And they do have water aerobics when it's cold. And there are people that do wear wetsuits.
Do you have one?
I don't own one yet, but
We bought one, though. We both did.
well,
They didn't fit.
no, I bought one that was just too little.
I looked like a sausage in mine.
We were both sausages.
We really didn't get them for the pool, though. We did, but I want to take them to Crystal River and swim with those manatees. You know, that's fun, and you see a lot of people wearing them down there. But I mean, honestly, I need the triple X, and I bought a triple X, but I think it was triple X in Asia maybe because it wasn't American triple X. And man,
Yeah, but there you do go in the winter sessions and water aerobics, but you're going to wear your long sleeves too, those little shirts to keep you warm. And
some people
track
wear
it.
the wetsuit that's with shorts, short
Yeah,
legs.
yeah.
What's that all about?
No.
Huh?
I'm going to wear booties and everything. But yeah, I'd go until it's about 60 degrees, maybe 70.
But don't be fooled. There are people that swim every single day of the year, and
right.
water volleyballers that will play every day. In fact, last year there was steam coming up so thick
Yeah,
you couldn't even see across the net.
yeah.
So they do it, and you can do it. In Kansas anyway, you know,
Yeah.
you're probably farm-fed, rugged people, and you can do it.
Well, they do heat the pools during the winter, but it doesn't feel really
Right, so it's
hot.
supposed to be 83 degrees
Yeah.
about all year round. They say, we know you say it's hot. How hot does it really get? Is there a breeze? Jack and Shelley, of course there's a breeze sometimes, not always, and some days it's flat out breezeless.
That answer was all over the place. It's hot, it's not breezy. It's breezy, it's not breezy.
Well, I mean, every
Yeah.
place, it's never the same 24 hours a day.
That's right.
But is it hot here? You know that I like to say, it's hot.
Yeah.
And it is hot.
They've
but,
been saying that in every state this summer.
yeah, there are very few days of 100 degrees here. In fact, most years there are 0. It's not going to get 100. But when it's 95 here and it's high humidity, it will also give you another little number that says feels like,
The heat
and it
index.
might say feels like 102.
Yeah.
Feels like 103, but it won't actually be over 100 degrees. July is the hottest month here. And it's going to be an average of 86 degrees every day in July. May through September are considered the warm months here. The average temperature for those months is 86 degrees. That's pretty warm.
It's warm.
Now, in July, the average low temperature is 73. The average high each day is 90. But it doesn't get much hotter than 90, 95 degrees. So it is hot. There's not much of a breeze in July. Of course, every day, you know, people say it rains here. That's not true. But it rains here in August, for example, an average of 15 days. They won't be all day, though. They'll be spotty. It'll be an hour in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And there will be a breeze during the rainstorms. Yeah. And after the rain, the air feels better. It feels good outside.
Yeah.
So, you know, you get it. But that's why you moved to Florida, for the warm weather. That other time, you know, the opposite of May to September, what would that be, October to April? Oh, that's what you come here for. It's so nice.
That's beautiful.
You know, you'll go outside and you'll remark, whoa, this feels good. And you'll like it.
Yeah, heavenly.
And in the summer months, you'll say it's hot. And then you'll go in and watch TV and you'll read a book. And
I don't go anywhere in the summer without taking a water bottle with me. You
Take
have to have
water.
water with you all the time.
got to have your water, got to have your sunscreen. And for me, if you got a golf cart, make sure you have a window that folds down so when you ride it, you get that good airflow.
And a cooling cloth around your neck.
Well, let's not get crazy.
I'll take one.
We told you at the beginning that we would comment about these mysterious contraptions that are hanging on the side of the homes down south of 44. And they're not big and they're not real obtrusive, but they are noticeable. They're on the sides of homes. What are they? Those are water heaters. Those are the tankless, on-demand water heaters that just about all of the homes have down there. And instead of water flowing into a big tank in our garage, for example, and waiting till we need it, and then using it and then having it heat back up, this heats immediately, comes in, and the people have it. They're gas powered, and that means that the homes down there have gas utilities and electric, which I guess is good because many people prefer gas stove heating for cooking.
Right.
And you can have a gas dryer, and you've got your gas water heater. It's instant water, it's hot, it's good, but it is outside. Usually put on the side of the homes. Here's one. And all the works are in there. And as we said, there'll be no indoor water heater, no tank. All the water comes right through here. Both of these homes have swimming pools. You can see all of the plumbing for the pools right there.
This viewer asked a question. I heard that the bonds have recently doubled. Is that true?
That's not true. Bonds are a fee that is charged an entire area of similar homes. For example, in Dunedin, where we live, all of the designer homes pay the same bond. All of the courtyard villas are paying the same bond. They're paying for the infrastructure that we need for our community. The newer communities farther down south will have a different bond of a different amount. And in some of those communities, it very well may be double of what they paid in our neighborhood 7 years ago. So we don't know. You'll have to look at the, you can go online. You can look at, I think the villages.gov might have it. You can find every district and what the bonds were for the homes in that area. And they are quite high, and they could be cost prohibitive to you building a home. They're amortized over a 30-year period, and they are higher now, but the bond is issued at a lower interest rate than it was for bonds back, say, when our home was built. So most people think they are doable, but it definitely is a big add-on expense. We were fortunate. When we bought our home, it was less than 3 years old, and the people that built this home paid off the bond. We appreciated that.
Very much. This is from Ken and Tracy. In your 3+ years in the villages, have you ever seen a shortage of electrical service in the villages? The prospect of that has us a bit concerned.
You know, I'm gonna knock on some wood here,
Yeah.
but we have not had a prolonged power outage of more than just a few minutes in our time here, correct?
Right. I mean, it was minutes.
We do get cable outages. We've had internet outages and cable outages from time to time, but that's a whole different company. All of our utilities are underground, so they're not affected by the high winds as much. I know there are some supply lines and some big towers with lines on them several miles away that feed our neighborhoods. But we have had great luck with power, and knock on wood. That's why people here tend not to have the whole house generator. A few people have them, but not many. And some people have the portable generators in their garage, but again, not many, because our historical power has been good. We had a question asking us about when we moved here, did our pet, talking about you, fly or drive? And do we have any troubles with that? We have flown with him before. He's under the weight limit. He can go in a small carry-on and slip down on the floor of the seat, and he travels. He is a champ. He's the lowest maintenance dog in the world. But coming down here, we drove. And we stopped at a hotel the first night. And she or I will walk him, and he'll do his business. And then The next day we might stop once at a truck stop or something and let him walk, and he plugs right along. He loves to ride. He loves to ride in golf carts. He would love to ride in a boat if we went in a boat.
He just wants to be with us.
Yeah, he just wants to be. So no problem at all. I know it's not the same for everybody,
No.
but we can do anything we want with this guy.
This is from Frank and Suzanne. We are thinking of moving down from the Northeast and are avid farmers market customers. Is there a farmers market in the villages? And if so, is it year round? Yes, we have a farmers market in Brownwood, and it's year round, unless weather permitting. There may be some storms that they will close it down, or sometimes there's a festival, a special festival that they will skip the farmers market. So they do have a great farmers market here.
We've done a show down there, and some other YouTube shows are out there that show you the farmers market. Beautiful produce.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's
Right.
gorgeous, and it's, some of it's got a premium price on it too. I remarked about that on our video, but it's fresh.
It's very fresh.
Probably organic, and it's very popular.
And
the
there's some
farmers
other
market.
booths down there too, other little vendors of other things beside the produce.
Jim Lowe from Peachtree City in Georgia writes, I have a question. I think there'd be a lot of widows and widowers and others who live alone in their homes there. Was wondering if the mailmen are encouraged or required to call for a welfare check if they see that someone hasn't picked up their mail in 3 or 4 days. I don't think so. I don't think that the mail carrier does it, because the mail is at a central unit
Yeah.
and you have a small box, and those boxes do get full. I don't know, maybe if it went several weeks or something, they would probably. But you saw a couple weeks ago, we talked about the Community Watch keeps an eye on people's homes, just drives through. And if they notice a couple of newspapers in the driveway, when ordinarily that doesn't happen, they will check. And
Yeah.
they did that here.
They did that, and I love that.
But we'll have to check with the Postal Service and see how much mail would have to build up before they would issue an alert or have somebody come and check. But we're going to have to wake him up for this next segment.
You must have had a big night last night.
Yeah, he's just snoring back here. Today, he's going to read you a letter that he received from a dog, and and has a sad, sad story, but I think it has a happy ending. You want to tell him?
I got this letter from a new friend of mine. Her name is Sadie. Hi, Gizmo. You and I have something in common. We were both attacked by a big dog. I saw your injuries on your folks' YouTube blog. It must have hurt a lot. I was bitten on my back and my hair was gone and it left a big mark. And as a result, I'm very shy. So they put me up for adoption. All but one of the other dogs was picked during a weekend dog fair. You guessed it. I was the one who didn't get picked. I was supposed to go to doggy heaven the next Wednesday. Then on Tuesday, these nice people came in the shop and they asked about me. I'm a Maltipoo with a brown spot just above my tail. You can just imagine. Guess what? They adopted me. That was 8 years ago. We've had 8 wonderful years together. My question for you is, what do you do to let your folks know you need to go outside? I bark at Dad. Your friend forever, Sadie. Here's a picture of my folks and me, Marilyn and Elle Swigum, soon to be living in the villages. And we'll get to meet each other, Gizmo. Sadie, it was so nice to hear from you, and I'm glad they chose you. It sounds like you have a really good life. And yes, indeed, when you come here, we will definitely get together. Maybe Mom and Dad will bring us to the dog park at the same time. You ask what I do when I want to go outside. I usually just walk to the door. Mommy's always looking for me. She'll see me standing there and we'll go outside for a few minutes.
Good job, buddy. Good job. That wasn't your usual joke, but it was a feel-good story, right? Boy, you remember the story about Gizmo being attacked by that Rottweiler? Linda was walking him on a leash in our own yard when a Rottweiler came from next door and basically tore him up, and he almost died. We had to take him to the vet. He was in the little hospital there for a while, and anyway, he's bounced back. Now he has a few little blemishes on his coat and some bad memories. You'll have a nightmare every once in a while, won't you, buddy? But he's doing just great. That's going to do it for this week's edition of
Mailbag Monday.
Be sure and tune in on Thursday. That's when we're going to have part 2 of that bus video. Again, I think you'll really like this one. Thanks to all of you that made well wishes for her and her bad foot, and for me and my surgery. I think everything just came out great. I think we're doing just fine.
We're on the mend. If you liked our video today, please press that like and subscribe button and share it with your friends. And remember to be kind. Make a friend today. Until next time.
Hey, you never said that before.
I just ad-libbing.
See you when you get here.